Thank you, and welcome to International Visas and the 2017 Impact. So first, let's talk about what we're going to review today. So first, we're going to talk about understanding immigrant visas, just understanding the process and the impact of that process. We're also going to talk about I-94 cards and what they are and why they are valuable. We're going to talk about different types of non-work visas and types of work visas. So, several companies, employ people with all different types of visas. I'd like to make sure that I go over the non-working ones only because of our United States numbering system and our method for some of these visas can be a bit confusing for employers to understand who can work and who cannot. So we're going to review those. Then we're going to talk about some updates that the United States Citizenship and Immigration Service has done for 2017 that you need to be aware of for individuals who are here on a temporary work visa. We're also going to talk about student visas and really understanding the impact of a student. How should you handle them from a tax perspective? Is there any special reporting you need to do for them or anything of that nature? We're also going to talk about non-resident alien taxation. So how are you going to handle the taxation for your non-resident aliens and your resident aliens? So, the beginning of the webinar is really about United States Citizenship and Immigration Service. And then this last portion is really about taxation. And I think some of the confusion that happens for a lot of employers and individuals is the difference between United States Citizenship and Immigration Service and the IRS. So, when you're talking about the United States Citizenship and Immigration Service, you're really talking about visas and I-9s, and you're talking about all of that. But from a IRS perspective, sometimes they don't always necessarily care what visa somebody is on. They're thinking about if the individuals are resident or non-resident. So that's why I segmented the webinar a little bit that way to help make it a little bit easier to understand. And then at the end, we will have a short time for some question and answers. So as you can see, we've got a lot to cover in a short period of time, so let's get started. So what is an immigrant visa? What do you need to know about immigrant visas? An immigrant visa is really a key to present oneself at the U.S. border and request entry into the U.S. So if an individual has a visa, that does not necessarily alone make them eligible to work here in the United States. What a visa does is really say that an individual has gone through the process with the United States Citizenship and Immigration Service to request entry into the U.S. under a particular reason, which is that visa type. So just because they present you a visa does not necessarily mean they're eligible to work. There must be some accompanying documentation with that visa to make sure that this person is eligible to work in the United States. There are two different categories of visas. There's the immigrant visa, or what we know more as the green card. This is a permanent visa. The goal is for this individual to become a permanent citizen here in the United States. We're going to spend less time on the green card individual today than we do on your non-immigrant status, so your temporary visas. So these are individuals who are here in the United States under a temporary reason, so they're here to do a particular job or to do a particular go to school. They're here for a particular task, and the goal is that they will go back to their home country when they're completed with that task here in the United States. So again, like I said, we're going to spend a lot of time on the temporary status or your non-immigrant visa. So the next slide here, I really show you the process to get an immigrant visa. Now again,